and welcome back to Tailor Tales. Last time we made out with Neil even though we really didn't want to. And then we followed that up with slapping Neil, which we really wanted to do for a long time. Hi, Chris! You're working overtime today? Do your best. I'll do my best to lend you strength. And hi, Han! Hello! And hi, Tuxedoji! Are you ready to absolutely destroy Neil today? At least I hope that's what we're doing. For anybody who wasn't here last time, Neil did not quite confess his feelings to us, but he did, put his tongue inside of our mouth, and I think that probably means that he has some sort of feeling towards us. Probably. At least I hope so. Oh yeah, we also met Neil's alcoholic cousin. I hope she's doing good. We're making a dress for her, and we just made it for her last chapter. I approve of destroying that twink. Me too. So, let's continue. A few weeks have passed since I last saw Neil at the hospital. It's already December by now. Ooh. Then why do you have your summer stock still out? Angela's dress is finished, or, well, she still needs to do her final fitting so I can make adjustments. But other than that, her raunchy dress is just about completed. Not raunchy enough if you ask me. Just in time as well, her party is next week. The shop is quiet for today, but I'm rushing in and out of the workroom to add in last-minute details on the dress, or cut away any loose threads. Hi, Mira! Freya is Gaia. Staying busy is the only way to prevent myself from thinking about anything else. Things like making out with Neil. I told you not to do it, girl! The bell rings, and I look up. That must be Angela coming over to pick up her dress. Except the person in front of me isn't Angela. It's Neil. I can't get used to that haircut. He looks bashful and out of place in my store, fidgeting on the spot and refuses to meet my eye. My breath is caught in my throat. I don't even greet him. It's like time slows down to a miserable crawl, and every second is like an eon that simply highlights the fact that neither of us are speaking. Why don't we just ban him from our store already? Like, he never buys anything from here. The silence is deafening. Why is he here? At least buy something! Angela sent me in her stead to pick up the dress. Angela, why? I lower my eyebrows at him. I need her here personally for any final alterations. I expected as much. Worm. I'm quick to show him the door then. So I'm sorry, but Angela needs to come over herself. Good day. Bad day. Huh? Mate! I look at him, waiting for him to say something, anything really. Yet on the other hand, I don't want him to say another word either, because I'm scared of what he has to say. I'm nervous and anxious, and a lot of other synonyms, and still really mad at him. Look, I just wanted to say, Neil's speech is clumsy, which is very unlike him. Thank you for checking up on me a few weeks ago. Oh, that's right, we did that! Neil collapsed from overwork a bit ago. Oh, right, I forgot about that. I nod my head slowly at him. Don't mention it? No, really, don't mention it. I've been trying to forget ever since. Neil nods his head at me as well. This time, his expression back to being serious. The Neil I know and do not love. He turns around and starts to walk away. I let out a jittery breath of relief. No, that's not what I wanted to say. Oh? Neil turns around once more to approach me. He takes a huge breath and awkwardly fixes his tie. His lips part, but no words come out. He looks so mad. I can look up his nostrils. I stare at him some longer, wondering what he has to say. But with each passing second, I can see Neil is starting to break out into sweat. His cheeks are turning a rosy color. He actually looks kinda cute when he's forward-facing and blushing like that. Or at least he would be if it wasn't for his entire personality up until this point. If it had been any other time, I might have reveled in the fact that I'm making Neil feel out of his element. But right now, I've got no leg to stand on. I'm feeling uncomfortable as well. That night, why did you? Because we did not know it was you, and apparently we're somebody who kisses on the first date? Yeah, sure, why not? Let him finish. Take his legs. What are we gonna do with them? Neil pauses and I stare at him, waiting for him to continue what he has to say. The anticipation is hard to swallow. How come you didn't recognize me? Neil gives me this conflicted look. You're one to talk, Neil. I look down at my hands with my cheeks turning slightly pink from embarrassment. I mistook someone else for you? He had the same hair color as you, he even rudely bumped into me. So Neil really wasn't related to that dude, it was just a coincidence? Your voice was different as well. Yeah, like you weren't yelling at me or anything. Neil blinks at me, then looks away again. He runs his fingers through his black hair, like he doesn't know how to respond. Every year, they hold the masquerade ball in my father's honor. Angela and I have always attended since we were little, Neil finally says. So then why did you dye your hair and get a haircut? If you intended for us to recognize you? Oh, that's actually really cute. Oh, I'm sorry I'm ribbing on you for this, Neil. You deserve it for the other parts, though. We try various things to look different from normal, turning it into a bet of who could spot the other first. This year I changed my hair color, even though it didn't matter as Angela found me relatively fast, and Angela just didn't try at all, did she? So you planned this? No. What? I mean, yes, in a way I planned to make myself look unrecognizable, but... Oh, thank you for the sip, Zakuichi, and welcome! And we're interrogating Neil right now, as he deserves. But that doesn't explain why you went along with it. Why, Neil? Why did you continue to fool me into thinking you were someone else? That's not very consensual of you, Neil. And Lurking currently pestering Rev? Ooh, tell Rev he's a nerd. and that I hope that he pulls a lot of super rare Pokemon cards. Like SSR Pokemon cards, those exist, right? Wait, is he opening Pokemon cards or Yu-Gi-Oh cards this time? I can't remember. It was Yu-Gi-Oh cards, right? I hope that in his Yu-Gi-Oh card packs, he picks out a lot of SSRs. He picks out a lot of SSR Pokemon in his Yu-Gi-Oh pack. Your voice, it was different as well. Deeper. Neil stays quiet, looking pensively at the floor, refusing to answer. I can feel my emotions bubbling towards the surface. He says he's sorry for being live at the same time. No, never be sorry. I'm sorry I can't watch him. Please get all of the super rare Pokemon. Get UR Pokemon. Get UB Pokemon. You really hate me that much? Oh. No, I don't. Oh, the drama. He just looks mad. This isn't a blush, this is anger. I don't hate you. Then in the most uncharacteristically what? Uncharacteristically way possible, he bolts for the exit. I was told to tell you a bunch of Pokemon say hi to flex on you, but I do not remember what they were. Well, what's next? The next day, after Neil's spectacular escape, Angela comes by the boutique personally. Darling! Oh, Angela, can we date you instead? Welcome! How was Italy? Marvelous! Just a divine sweet little country. Although if I see some pizza one more time, I think I might barf. Wow, so I had a really good time. I laugh a little, then I gesture towards my workshop. I need you to come with me to the back. to fit the dress. I can't wait to see what you've cooked up. Last time I saw the dress, it was still inside out. Oh. Just a moment. Okay. That's a pull door, Neil. I know I got it. Oh, Angela walks with me to the back, where I have her golden dress waiting for her. She's squealing in awe, unable to contain her excitement at seeing the finished dress. Golden? Why? It's because she's rich. It's fine, I'm sure it's not real gold. She tries it on and I make a quick few alterations as needed, so it fits her perfectly. It's raunchy and daring, and not safe for Twitch stream, and that's exactly why Angela likes it. Forget about wanting to draw the attention of the man I've got my eye on that night. Everyone's eyes will be on me, including mine. Okay, so Freya wants a sugar mama? I mean, I'm open to all genders. Even the ladies will be checking me out. I know I will be. You did well, Freya. I almost wish I could have taken you with me to the party, but, you know, I've already got my +1. He's going to adore this, or downright worship me. I hope you'll have fun at your Christmas party. This is what Jesus would want on his birthday. Angela looks at me after stuffing the dress inside of a large box. You look a little sad. Are you feeling a bit under the weather? Angela, did you know that your cousin is a jerk? No, I'm fine. Thanks for asking. Tell you what, sweetheart. Come over for dinner at my place tonight. You absolutely have to. Food will be ready at 6. See you then. She then grabs a large box I prepared for her and struts away with a smile. I'll have a very nicely written check for you to pick up tonight. Oh, it's a date. Angela leaves my store with her dress in tow. So is she paying after the fact? Like, I thought that she would, put in a down payment first, I guess? Or is the money for the date? I actually don't understand tailoring that much. I have had to have a few clothing items custom fitted, but those I paid the full sum up front, so... Honestly, Christmas isn't even his actual birthday. It's just celebrated then to make up for Saturnalia. Ah, that makes sense. Then does that mean that Jesus would approve? Oh, the end of the chapter already. All right, let's continue. Freya? What is it, Mira? Why would you get a sweatshirt fitted? No, other clothes. Later in the evening, I get dropped off by a taxi at Angela's apartment. I make my way up to the building once I've arrived and ring the doorbell. Neil better not be here this time, Angela. Angela greets me at the door, holding a glass of wine in her hand. Hello! You made it, and early too. Come in, come in. As I enter her apartment, Angela gives me an approving look. You like what you see? Lovely outfit, just right for the occasion. I know I can always count on your impeccable fashion taste. Oh, the check's on the dining table. Go get it while I finish wrapping up dinner. You don't like this apartment? Why? It's all fresh. Don't you like the green? I'm feeling a bit nervous as I walk towards the already set up dining table to retrieve the envelope with the check. And that's also when I notice there aren't just 2 plates set up, there's 3. Angela? Is someone else dining with us? Of course! I open the envelope and take out the check. My eyes widen at the amount written on it. This is way more than my usual rate. Good evening. It's him. Angela, I thought we were friends. Neil's behind me, looking a bit out of place, sitting on the couch, looking like he had no idea I'd be coming as well. Well, if you're gonna pay that much, sure. I guess the tip is for having to tolerate Neil. I grind my teeth. She set this up, didn't she? Gokigenyo. Last time I saw Neil, he bolted right out of my store after saying he didn't hate me. I'm not quite sure where we stand now, but all I know is this is awkward. Dinner's almost ready. Thanks, Angela. Would you like to sit down? Neil asks, and he gestures towards the dining table. Sure. I'm gonna sit on the table now. I'm a bit wary of this very polite Neil, but I nod my head anyways. Neil walks past me. His cologne lingers behind and is making me feel a bit lightheaded. How much cologne did he put on? And he pulls out one of the chairs for me. This is weird. I take a seat anyway, and I'm feeling very self-conscious all of a sudden. What's his deal? He's trying to be nice to me? I mean, why the sudden change of heart? He puts it on like a 15-year-old spraying on Axe. Neil takes a seat as well at the opposite end of the dining table. Now I feel like I'm forced to look at him, which is something I really do not want. His cologne is actual garbage. The more I'm around Neil, the more I start to feel confused, and the flashbacks of the masquerade plague my mind. Things like kissing Neil. I look down at my napkin, feeling heat rush to my cheeks. Why does Neil have to be here? Why did I have to kiss somebody without knowing their name or face? Luckily, Angela barges back into the room, carrying a large pot with her. I welcome the distraction, considering my mind was going places I did not want it to go. Angela is quick to set up the food, and it really does smell delicious. Actually, I'm surprised that she cooks for herself. We all dig in. Itadakimasu. I'd like to say that dinner went well, but unfortunately it didn't really. I was only half paying attention, listening to Angela talk about her time in Italy, and noticed how her glasses of wine multiplied. Angela, I think that you have a problem. Very soon she's drunk and starts to slur her words, giggling whenever she recalls something funny. Neil hasn't said a word the entire time. You should have seen him. He was such a wimp. Then again, he still is. Huh? Are you talking about Neil? This baked ziti is bussin'. I don't know what bussin' means, but I trust you dreams in stardust. I'm barely paying attention, looking at my plate of food. Who? Nelly, of course! Neil finally makes his presence known, and he sighs in response. Angela, you're drunk. Please don't embarrass me any further. No, please, go on. We called him Nelly back then. And by we, I mean me. It's the royal we. Nelly was always afraid of standing up to his parents, the silly little boy. So I told him, your really cool aunt will beat him up for you. You can't possibly embarrass me any further than this. Please stop talking. Keep on going. And did you? No, of course not. I was like 14 years old. Instead, I convinced Nelly to run away. It was actually quite funny. They had cops looking for him all over the place. Oh boy, were his parents mad when they found Nelly. So it's thanks to Angela that we met. Angela, apologize right now. Bussin' basically means it's dang good. Oh, right, that's what I thought. Suddenly, my interest is piqued. Angela is talking about that time Neil ran away when he was young, isn't she? That time when I found him at the playground, and it stuck with me for over 10 years. I steal a glance at Neil, and can see he's trying to hide his face behind his hand covering his rosy cheeks. If it weren't such an awkward situation, I'd call it adorable. So, I asked Nelly, where'd you go? Right? And then he tells me how a hero found him. A hero, like Superman? I'm not sure, the details are a bit fuzzy. Neil sinks into his chair even further, his hand now covering his entire face. Then perish. He wouldn't shut up about it, how a hero like in one of his favorite comics came to save him, and they both ran away from the police. I was actually quite jealous. It's okay, Angela, you can run away from the police any day. Because I used to be the one Nelly looked up to, you know, the cool one. But I guess boys grow up. I lean in a bit closer. So, this hero you mentioned, do you know who it is? Angela throws her hands up. Beats me. All Nelly would say was that he was some really cool boy. Way cooler than me. Still is, Angela. Honestly, though, it sounded like he had a crush on you. Was he your childhood love, Nellie? Yeah, love wins. Neil's face scrunches up and he turns bright red. Angela, that's enough. Well, that's a turn of events. Is that true, I ask of Neil? Of course not, Baka. Don't confuse adoration with infatuation. I feel myself blush. He adored me? But I guess his parents got super mad at him because Nellie hasn't run off since. Where's her hero now, huh? Okay, you can stop now, Angela. I'm getting more wine. You want some? Angela? Angela, no. No, I'm good. Angela, I think it's time to stop. Angela wobbles away towards the... Should we let her go? The sound of glass clanging and doors opening can be heard loudly, and I briefly wonder if Angela has tripped and fallen down. Why are we letting her do this? I can't believe Neil got leash-egged. Me too. Huh? You want me to be your hero, Neil? I can be your devil or your angel. I look over at Neil instead. I cannot contain the grin on my face. So, a hero, huh? Not another word. Oh, he's back to normal. Must have been a really cool person from the sounds of it. I told you, zip your lips, do the Helen Keller, and talk with your hands. Is that why you said I ruined your memories? Because it wasn't a hero, but a heroine? You were surprised to find out you were bi? I understand. I understand. It doesn't matter now. I guess not, but clearly it bothered you. Before we can even continue our conversation, Angela is back with another wine glass. She eagerly shares some more of Nellie's memories, all the while Neil stays silent. Why are we letting her do this? I crack a smile every now and then. Their relationship is actually quite lovely with the amount of times Angela has stuck up for Neil. Time ticks by fast, and before I know it, it's getting close to midnight. Wow, and it's still light outside. And Angela is passed out on the couch. I end up clearing the dining table, gathering the dishes, and walking to the kitchen. Neil helps me out without saying a word. After we finish, I finally break the silence. Neil, I think that your cousin has a problem. Should we leave her like that? She'll be okay, she's had worse. That's even more concerning. You understand why that's concerning, right, Neil? I'll carry her to her bed. I wonder just how many nights Neil has experienced just like this one. Remember to leave her on her side, okay? Remember that when someone is passed out drunk, you want to have them lay on their side, not their back. Well then, I guess I'll be heading home. Neil picks Angela up from the couch, who groans in response, but is otherwise fast asleep. He carries her over to the bedroom, and I patiently await his return. Why are you waiting for him, girl? Midnight, our coach will turn back into a pumpkin, and the horses into rats, and Prince Charming will turn back into a frog. I'd say our prince is already a frog. I turn off the lights. Should I walk you home? Absolutely not. My first instinct is to say no. But in the dark close to Neil like this, I can feel myself wanting to stay around him for a little while longer. Girl, no, that's the suspension bridge effect. If I could just pronounce things right. That's the suspension bridge effect. Sure. Why? Oh, this is a really lovely background. We leave the apartment together. Snow is falling quietly all around us. There's not a single other person in sight, but that makes sense seeing as it's past midnight. Neil opens up an umbrella and walks next to me to shield us from the snow. He's so close to me, but it's not awkward at all. Are your hands all right, Neil asked me, with his sleeves still rolled up? I look at my red hands, then stuff them inside the pockets of my coat. I'm fine, I can withstand a little snow. We're quiet for a while, both walking silently on the sidewalk. I know where I live is quite far, and the taxi would have been much easier, but I guess I didn't want to leave Neil just yet. Let him go! Let him go, girl! Be nice to yourself! I swing my purse back and forth, wondering what to say, wondering what the best angle would be to hit Neil from. Have you seen Angela's dress? The one I made. She hasn't been keeping it a secret exactly. Has she been wearing it in public? Well, that's Angela for you who likes the attention. Always has. Is she okay? You two seem close since you were kids. I feel like if I keep talking like this, then I won't notice how I feel my heart beat faster now that Neil's walking closer to me. Why? Is it fear? Yes, she's always been bossy over me. She's got her quirks and faults, but she can be quite lovely. Am I quite lovely? Tell us we're lovely so we can properly reject you. She's always been there for me, like an older sister. I admit my first impression of Angela wasn't very favorable, just some crazy drunk, but she's grown on me since then. No, it's worse, we're a simp. Oh no! Neil keeps quiet once more, and I realize why. I met Angela for the first time at the masquerade party, the subject we've both been avoiding like it's taboo. The same way my heart pounds when there are two men chatting behind me. Do your best, Chris! And just like that, we spend the entire way in complete silence. When we arrive at my store, I feel relieved that I don't have to stick around in this suffocating silence anymore. I stop at my front door and then turn to face him. The amount Angela paid us? We're not a simp, we're a yes man! Woman! Neil closes the umbrella and shakes it to remove any snow still on it. We're safe from the snow underneath the awning of my store. Ah, maybe the tip that Angela gave us? Maybe that's a dowry? You didn't have to walk me back the entire way, but thanks. Neil looks deep in thought and doesn't respond besides a simple nod. Well, good night then. What was I even expecting? Sorry, says Neil in a tiny voice. I'm sorry for being such a meanie. I raise my eyebrows at him and want to ask him what he's apologizing for. In fact, I'm shocked he even has that word in his vocabulary. I didn't think Neil could ever utter the word sorry. He does have a lot to be sorry about. For mistaking you for a boy, and for my subsequent reaction and attitude afterwards once we met up again by chance. I'm sorry. I lean against the cold door frame. You mean being a swear word? Neil huffs and glares at me, but it quickly vanishes from his face. Yes. I was embarrassed that I met someone from so long ago, someone that I might have looked up to, and that someone turned out not to be the rough boy I imagined, but a beautiful woman instead. My eyes widen. I can't help it. My face flushes red at the abrupt compliment. I wasn't expecting that. It was a critical hit, even though his attack power is weak. I lashed out to hide my embarrassment, and for that, I apologize. Wow, I didn't know you had it in you to apologize, right? I'm actually quite floored, so much that I fan my face a little to cool it down despite the cold weather. Neil growls at me. Don't test my patience. I recall the conversation we had a couple of months ago when he said he only cares what a select few people have to say. So, you looked up to me. What about now? Am I one of those people whose opinion matters to you? Say that we matter to you, so we can properly reject you. Are you reading Neil Cutesy Wootsy for a reason? Because I want to emasculate him. He has a lot of toxic masculinity inside of his little body, so I want to emasculate him further. Does that make him a Fire Emblem Myrmidon? It's Neil whose eyes widen this time. Even though it's hard to see in the dark, he doesn't answer me. So, that's a no then, huh? I guess that's why you pranked me that night. Inflict max damage, Freya. Yeah! That's the Viking way! I didn't prank you. He shakes his head, then starts to quickly pace back and forth at my doorstep. He seems quite shaken up. But I simply... He's gesturing with his hands, but doesn't quite know where to start. It's weird to see Neil at a loss of words like this. When I realized that you had no blubbering idea who I was, that you mistook some other man for me, I went along, all right? Why? Eel throws his hands up and runs them through his hair, grabbing a fistful. I just like how you were treating me when you thought I was someone else. You weren't trying to be snarky with me. I wasn't facing up to the consequences of my own actions. You weren't so tense and on guard around me. We weren't having some petty argument. And whose fault is that, Neil? Hi, Rev! Hey there, Faye. The spirit of Karibo told me to tell you hi. Hi, Rev! Everybody follow Rev. Sometimes he opens cards. Hey, Rev. This is our love interest. Regrettably. We were simply normal. And whose fault is it that we weren't normal before, Neil? That's all there is to it. I loathe interest. I take a moment to collect my thoughts. So, Neil says he wasn't pulling a prank on me during the party. He simply kept the facade going because he liked how I was treating him when I thought he wasn't Neil. What a coincidence. We like how you treat us when, you know... Neil, literally, why? What were you expecting? What are you expecting? This boy is nonsensical. I remember back at the party how I realized that I was acting awful towards the person that I mistook as Neil, and how I must have been treating Neil all this time, and how Neil has been treating us. Hello? But whose fault is it in the first place that I acted like this, right? Lay it on him. Come on, let's go, let's go. Let's go! Right? Yes. I already apologized for that just now. Just now. Oh, thank you for the sip, Rev. Thank you, I need it with all this yelling. I hope my roommate isn't weirded out by this. That doesn't excuse all the times you've been terrible to me. Then you even went as far as to seduce me, and now I can't be married anymore? I absolutely did not! Put some lipstick on your knuckles, protect. I didn't make you do anything you didn't want to. Don't blame that on me. I wouldn't have done any of those things if I knew it was you. I recall the memories of us making out on the first date, and all those feelings come back. The allure of kissing some stranger like I was in a fairy tale. Don't do that! And in the end, it turned out to be Neil. The kind stranger was, in fact, a pompous jerk. I'd have never kissed him if I knew it was Neil. You wouldn't have? What is he expecting? I'm taken aback. I'm at a loss of words. What does he mean? What's he saying? I wouldn't have... Freya, your attention span. I need to stop naming the protagonists after myself if I'm going to yell at them like this. I'm sorry, protagonist. You're not me. Now you're just being willfully obtuse. Yeah, we are. Well, if you just be a little more clearer, then I can give you a master. Mr. Simple and clean is the way that you're making me feel tonight. It's hard to let it go. Very bad, actually. Bad. No, don't let the anger melt away. No, stay angry. Protagonist, do you hear me? Stay angry. Oh my god. Oh my god, these two are a disaster. Her mouth feels sore. What does that mean? We're in public. Oh my god. You guys. You know, I'm pretty sure that this is a family-friendly game, but just in case, do I still have... Okay, yes I do. Okay. Oh. I'm just gonna skip this until it goes to family-friendly mode. Yep, they sure are kissing really hard. Yep. They are kissing. Oh, they're kissing again. I think that they really like each other. Oh, this is a nice CG. Yep, they sure are kissing. That's not what I was wearing. Wait, oh! We're wearing a dress with, like, spaghetti straps in the middle of winter? I mean, there was a libido meter at the beginning, but wasn't Neil, like, at the lowest? Wait a second, right on the counter? Oh, this is dangerous. Okay. No, Dimitri's at the lowest, but Neil was really low, right? Oh! By accident, my elbow knocked something over from the counter, sending it crashing to the ground. The sound has interrupted us both. As we're finally apart and sitting up straight. Thank you, Umbrella. No, thank you. Thank you, Umbrella. You can leave now, Neil. Good night, Neil. No more kissing! Freya, please have standards. Well, I didn't like the journey here, but hopefully now that they've actually made themselves physically clear about all this, hopefully they'll be functional. And that was the last I ever saw of Neil, my first love. It turns out he taught me exactly what a boyfriend shouldn't be. Let's go! The past few days have been a whirlwind of emotions and uncertainty. It scares me, the things that have been going on. I don't really know what to feel or what to do. I haven't even talked to Sarah about it. I can't really put my thoughts and emotions into words. Isn't Sarah supposed to be your best friend? All I know for sure is that Neil and I definitely kissed, and this time I knew it was him. He taught me not to become bred. PG-13, Rev! PG-13! It's confusing, because I'm pretty sure that I wanted nothing to do with him for the longest time. Yet, right now, my hands are holding my phone, and I'm typing a message to Neil. That day, when I left the ball, I took his cape with me. So here I am, asking him if I could drop it off sometime to return it. I realize this is just a thinly veiled excuse to see him again, but I choose not to think about it too much. Why did she keep the cape for that long? Immediately, I get a reply text from Neil. I read it. It's an address? Confused, I start to type back, but before I can even start, I get another message. It's a single word. Come. Neil, if this is a hotel, I swear to God. If I weren't in this state of mind, I'd probably have told him to go jump off a cliff and dump the cape in a trash can. The GPS leads me to a nicer part of the city, much like where Angela lives. I come across an apartment complex. Really? I find it quite simple. And I hesitantly stand in front of the entrance. I'm so nervous right now, it's stupid. I make my way up to Neil's apartment, and he lets me in. Wow, he's also got modern art. Neil greets me with a silent stare. He looks impeccable as always, groomed and neat, like it's been drilled into him from a young age to present himself this way. You don't say. Good day. I stand before him in the entrance hall, like a bundle of nerves. My heart's thrown into a tizzy as memories from a few days ago come rushing back to me. You guys have protection this time, right? My eyes look over at Tid's lips. Don't do it! Don't do it! Now, I can't be thinking about things like this right now. I needed to return his cape. That's all. My excuse to see him is as thin and transparent as the fabric in my hands. Neil, I know it's because we're artists. We know about these, but allow us to introduce you to colors. What do you mean? He's got plenty of colors. There's lots of brown on the floor. Hello? Come in, make yourself comfortable. Okay, I say, and then leave the room. Hesitantly, but with a skip in my step, I take a few steps further and enter his living room. It's just as spacious as I had imagined. All the pieces of furniture are sleek and shiny in design, and they're all carefully placed, like each one serves a purpose. Everything is spotless as well. Certainly no cobwebs in the corner or dust bunnies hiding under the couch. It makes me feel out of place, like I don't belong here. It feels like a different world altogether. Nice place. It doesn't seem like you spend a lot of time here, though. No, I spend a lot of time at the hospital. Sometimes there's simply so much work to do that I sleep in the lounge room over there. Who keeps the place clean? I can't imagine you'd do it. Freya, he's rich. I am maid, of course. Who? You know? He got some points before for apologizing, but... Neil, your own cousin does her own housework. I clean my own place. Most adults do. Oh, you know what? I changed my mind. It's time to stab him again. You know, I demoted him to slapping before, but now it's stabbing time. Why purposely provoke me into a fight with him? Shouldn't we be past this by now? Regardless, I came to return this to you. Neil simply takes it from my hands without a word, although it seems more like he's trying to avoid looking at me. When his fingers clasp around the cloth, they brush against mine and Neil jerks back in surprise. I don't really know how to react to that, except I kind of want to touch Neil again. How about you don't? My eyes wander around the living room, and I notice something familiar. Yeah, you've got the same vases that Angela has, right? On his coffee table, there's a white vase that looks strikingly similar to the one at Angela's apartment, the one she was bragging about. I point at it with my finger. Angela has the same one. You guys must have similar taste. Neil folds the cape over his arm as he looks at me, all elegant and dapper. I'd certainly hope so, considering I designed them and she creates them. Aw, they're a team! You design vases? Neil gives me a disapproving look. I expected you to have been more clever than that and figured it out by now. Why is he doing this? I look around his apartment, seeing only the most expensive designer furniture, wondering what Neil means by that. Does he make furniture, perhaps? Did he make everything in this room by himself? Neil sighs after seeing me struggle. Angela's a sculptor, a very well-paid one, as you may have noticed. That explains some of the funny decoration in her room. But you said you designed them? A hobby of yours? Don't break any vases, he'll indenture you. Neil stays silent for a while, looking down at the vase in question. His eyes are wavering like he's undecided or conflicted about something. Hi, Biblio! Oh, I forgot to turn fitness back on. I will do that after the stream. I suppose. It's not particularly a hobby when you've got a bachelor's degree for it. Oh my god, he's got a bachelor's degree for design? His parents let him do that? Apparently, Neil went to college for, interior design. His parents let him do that. Oh, they're not as big jerks as I thought. Honestly, I had no idea Neil went to college in the first place. I thought he got a job handed to him on a silver platter from his family. No. You know, rich people, at the very least, they'd have a diploma handed to them on a silver platter. But interior design of all things, they had no idea. Is that what you do at the hospital? Did you design the entrance hall or something? Neil shakes his head with a chuckle. Ah, he laughed. This doesn't mean that he's immune from stabbing. Wow, if we married him, he wouldn't be a bachelor anymore and he'd have to give it back. Guess we better break up, so sad. No, I don't do anything of that sort at the hospital. My father would raise heck about it. He straightens his back with a sigh. No, I just do boring paperwork and handle negotiations with other investors. That's the most information you volunteered to me since the day we've met. Good. Squirm worm. And that's all you're going to get. Now, if you'll excuse me for a moment. He gestures towards the cape and walks out of the room. Sorry, Sleepy. But it's okay. It's okay. I'll keep awake. With rage towards Neil. I awkwardly stand in the middle of his living room, not quite sure what to do with myself. So, Neil has a bachelor's degree in interior design. I wonder what he was like during college. Probably not much different from now, still mean-spirited and arrogant to a fault. And yet, I totally made out with him a few days ago. Are you regretting it already? The way our kiss was cut short, it's still... No! I haven't kissed anyone like that in a while now. What? Eventually, I seat myself on Neil's couch. It's hard and uncomfortable to sit on, but it matches the rest of the fancy decoration in the room. I guess Neil prefers looks over comfort. Or, as he's mentioned, he's not home very much, so he probably won't be sitting down on this couch for a long time either. Neil makes his appearance again, fixing his black hair as he walks over to me. I realize I'm staring at him, so I quickly look away. That black haircut is starting to grow on me. Not on me! Your couch isn't very comfy. Hard and uncomfortable, just like him. Neil sits down on the other end of the couch, and I'm a tiny bit disappointed he didn't want to get closer than that to me. You're right, it is uncomfortable. I didn't notice until now. Angela got this for me as a gift for purchasing my first apartment. I'm sorry, Angela. Oh, so you didn't really get to have a say in it. Neil stretches his arm across the back of the couch, and I'm hyper-aware of how close his hand is near my shoulder. Had I said anything negative about it, I'd never hear the end of it, so I'm stuck with it. I chuckle. That does sound like Angela to me. She'd talk his ears off, berating him for saying anything bad about a gift she gave him. That's really rude, Angela, actually. No leaning. No. What? My mouse. Here we go. At least now you're not the only one who's uncomfortable. We can share the misery together for the rest of our lives, Neil. Neil gives me an amused snort. Misery loves company, right? There's a genuine smile. I'm gonna punch it. The likelihood of me running Neil over with a car was a much higher probability than me planting my lips on his out of my own free will. And I'm not even allowed to drive. I look into Neil's eyes and give him a shy smile in return. Seeing these new sides of Neil, it's making me all nervous. Neil doesn't look away from me either. In fact, it looks like he's just about to say something. This almost reminds me of Alan Harvest Moon. You take that back! You take that back! Alan is bae! But we get interrupted when Neil's cell phone rings. He quickly gets up from the couch and takes out his phone from his pocket. Excuse me, I have to take this. I know that Alan is really smug and condescending, but he's not a jerk about it. I sit there wondering what could have happened between us just now. I won't deny it, No! Don't do it. A text message from my phone alerts me and I check it real fast. It's Angela. She's asking me if I've got time to have lunch with her today. In the other room, I can hear Neil talking on his phone as I type a reply to Angela. A few seconds later, and Neil walks back into the living room, slipping his expensive-looking cell phone into the pocket of his vest. I was more of a Soseki gal. Yeah, Soseki is also really good. I think that ultimately I was stuck between Alan and Sanjay. Glasses boy versus butler. And I kind of split the files then. I'm going to have to cut this short. My cousin just called me and wishes to see me for something urgent. I blink slowly. You mean Angela? What other cousin could I possibly be referring to? The imaginary cousin who doesn't bug me all the time and cause trouble? We don't know your family, Neil. We don't know how many cousins you have. No, I mean, she just invited me to lunch. This time it's Neil who has a surprised expression on his face. It looks like he can't process it and shakes his head. Did she now? Is Angela trying to get us together? My phone beeps again. Probably some expensive lunchroom? Seems to be the cafe that I go to quite often, the one next to the hospital. She wants to meet me at the cafe. Neil sighs. He's definitely not happy about something. That's where she asked me to meet up. I don't know what kind of trouble she's caused or why she's involving you into her business, but we should probably find out what she's gotten herself into. Valid, I split my Refactory 4 file 6 ways. Nice. I nod at him and we both leave to the cafe. Surprise, Angela! We got here together. Neil and I arrive at the cafe. I've been a bit nervous being alone with Neil all this time, so I'm glad when I see Angela sitting at a booth in the back. A nice and quiet spot. Once she sees us, she waves us over. Darling! And also Neil! You look a tad nervous. Did anything happen on your way here? She asked while inspecting every inch of my skin with her wary eyes. No, I'm fine. I'm just concerned about you. Angela turns to look at Neil, who takes a seat at the booth. What did you tell her? Don't scare the poor girl. I sit down next to Neil, making sure to leave enough space between us lest I get anxious again. I did nothing of the sort. Now, can you tell me what we're doing here and why I had to rush? Yes, Angela. Please, tell us. It was not a nice moment. Yes, we were subjected to Neil. You didn't have to rush, you silly Nelly. But I did, however, wanted the both of you together. She did want it, huh? Did you get into a row with my parents when you were drunk? Why, of course not. Don't think so lowly of me. I was only tipsy at best. Is she already drunk? I told you to stop engaging with my parents. They're not going to listen. I start to wonder just how big of a problem alcohol is for Angela. You're only wondering that now? If I had to believe Neil's words, it sounds like a recurring problem. Not that I really understand their family dynamic or what's going on. I feel out of place, like I shouldn't be listening in. Angela starts to pout. You know I can't help myself when they're talking about deciding your fate. Who else is going to have your back if your own cousin won't protect you? I don't need you to be a hero and cause even more trouble, Angela. So tell me, what happened this time? Well, I may have proposed to find you a fiancé. Like, At the party? Before I lose myself here, can you explain why you have come up with such a ridiculous idea? You see, I know they've been making you work too much. You simply can't handle the position Marcus has given you. In fact, you don't even want anything to do with the hospital, but it's like they don't care. You're overworked and tired, and it's absolutely too much. Don't go deciding what I can or cannot handle. I think that maybe both of these cousins have trouble, like, seeing their limits. All around me are familiar faces. Why am I here again? When I tried to reason with them, Marcus would have none of it. Not until I mentioned that I knew they were looking for a marriage candidate for you, and that I actually had someone in mind. Suddenly, I am starting to understand the reason why I am here. Oh god, it really was a dowry, wasn't it? Anticipating the worst, Neil brings his hands to his face. I said I would play matchmaker if they'd cut down your hours. Angela. The betrayal. Of course, at first I tried to bargain for you to be able to up and leave the job, but that seemed to simply... yeah. However, Evelyn was intrigued with the idea of marrying off her son. You know, just like the feudal days. Please don't let it be me, please don't let it be me. I know they've been looking for a while now, so I struck a deal. Neil sinks his face into his hands. Freya, dear, do you think you would be willing to help out my dim-witted cousin by pretending to be his fiancé? Oh, I can't believe the string of tropes that's just occurring right now. Angela's going to marry him herself. Wow, it really is just like the feudal ages. I let out a nervous laugh, as does Neil. I feel completely out of my element here. Oh god, she really did mean me. Fake dating, why here, why with him? Neil is sitting next to me, not saying a word. I can only see that the tips of his ears are of nice salmon color. I'm pretty sure my own cheeks are blushing as well, since I have no idea how to answer this question. Me? Pretend to be Neil's fiancé? What kind of TV drama did I step into now? And how much will you pay me? You wouldn't need to do much at all. Just take a few cutesy pictures together, meet Marcus and Evelyn for dinner just once, and everything is set. Wouldn't we, have to get married? And then what? Wouldn't they expect us to be married eventually? What possessed you to think this was in any way a good idea? Your drivel is madness at this point. Just how drunk were you? Don't be fussy about the details, Baka. Don't be a fussy Baka. You could simply announce you've broken the engagement afterwards. I mean, people are sometimes engaged for years, you know? You want me to pretend to be in some kind of relationship with someone like her for an entire year? A year? Really, how much is she going to pay? I take offense to that. I'm not saying you should stick together for an entire year, simply long enough to satisfy your parents and get them off your back. I can only make out the text. Marcus and Evelyn, what kind of white people names? Sweets, Chris, I regret to inform you, I think that Neil is probably white. Isn't that what you want? Or are you saying you love being overworked at a job that you hate? Don't I get a say in this? Nope! It solves nothing, Angela. Let's pretend for a second here that we can fool my parents. They give me less hours to work, and who knows how long this will last. It'll only be for a little while until everything reverts back to my normal work hours. Fundamentally, nothing has changed. The only thing that changed is that you cooked up some ridiculous scheme that's not worth my time. Well, I was a little bit tipsy at the time. Nonetheless, if it means my cousin can stay in good health and not get sent back to the hospital for overworking himself, then it's worth it. Neil rolls his eyes. Don't be dramatic. I simply passed out and decided to stay in one of the rooms since I actually had that kind of privilege of being a forester. My health was in no danger. Yeah, he just willingly passed out and chose to stay at a hospital room. It clicks in my mind that he's talking about the day Angela told me that Neil was in the hospital, and I rushed over to him like an idiot to see if he was doing alright. So he was actually fine all of this time? I wouldn't call passing out being fine. So I don't need you worrying about how much I'm working at the hospital. I can handle it. Just like Angela can handle 6 glasses of wine? I didn't ask for you to bargain with my parents to strike some kind of preposterous deal about finding me a fiancé. Least of all, why you would involve her, of all people. Angela's eyebrows finally lower, and she looks genuinely upset. Excuse me for worrying about you. You know it breaks my heart to see you work this much. Your 20s should be spent partying and carefree to follow your dreams and passions. You shouldn't be wasting it in some smelly old hospital among business associates. Okay, considering my work, I should probably be offended here. Well, you know I can't do much about that. Neil, you know that you're an adult, so, are you financially dependent on your parents right now? Do you have any, marketable skills? You could live with Angela? Hey now, she just knows we're your hero. And why not? Are you being forced to work? Suddenly the both of them stop talking and turn to look at me, realizing that I'm actually still here. Wow, thanks guys. Mind your own business. Oh, I want to leave this family. I'm here because Angela invited me, and for some reason I'm being dragged into this drama of yours. So I ask you again, are you my master? No one is forcing you to work. You can just up and quit. Oh, believe me, I tried. I even tried to get him fired, but his parents are dead set on him taking over as CEO. They want the hospital to stay in the family. They really are feudalists. And you can't say no? It's not that simple. But sometimes it is just that simple. And why not? Oh, thank you so much for the sub, Rev. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, Rev. Neil can't do it. Maybe you can convince him for me. Neil, you're a grown man. Angela, bite your tongue. There's no need to involve Freya in our family issues. And why in the world are we even discussing this at the cafe? We don't need to air our dirty laundry. I really wanted some coffee. Got a pretty big hangover from last night. Angela. So you were drunk. Let's not change the subject. Both of these people are messes. Neil turns to look at me. Get up, I am leaving. And this isn't even in America. Oh god, you're right. This is somewhere in Europe, I think. They were using euros, right? Oh god, where is this taking place? Quickly, I stand up from my seat to let Neil out from the booth. What we know is that it's someplace that uses euros, but also the imperial system of measurement. Honestly, I have no idea what's going on anymore. You and me both. There's just so much information thrown at me, and I feel like I'm too much of a stranger to insert myself into this. One thing is for sure, though. I am not going to pretend to be your fiancé. Yeah, fight the power. It feels like Ireland? Ah, so Angela is right at home. I'm sorry, that's a really harmful stereotype. I never expected you to. Yeah, but his feelings are probably hurt anyway. Neil shakes his head at Angela as he exits the booth. Angela, just stop with the crazy ideas. We're trying to work out deals with my family. I'm fine. Neither of you two are fine. I sit back down at a loss of words. What do I do to make of this? What do I make of this conversation with crazy ideas? I was hoping he'd say, yes, you look too lovely to reject. I guess it was worth a shot. I can't think of any other way to get him to stop overworking himself. Have you considered therapy? I take a few minutes to collect my thoughts, and I wonder if I should say anything at all. It's definitely not my place. Neil is right about that, at least. Did Angela even buy us coffee? Sorry for dragging you into this, love. Hope it didn't sully the relationship between you and Neil. Oh, trust me, Angela, there was nothing to sully. We don't have much of a relationship. I recall the memories of that night where mistakes were made. However, I do see he has a very nice and caring cousin that has his back. I'm sure he's happy to have you in his life. You flatter me. You're such a doll. Now, why don't we drink up some coffee and catch up? Tell me all about your latest ideas in fashion. Now that is something I can actually talk about. We stay at the cafe for a couple of hours discussing fashion trends, as well as Angela wanting to have another dress made for her for another formal event. I had a lot of fun hanging out with Angela, but in the back of my mind was still wondering about Neil. Ooh. Well, Operation Fake Marriage is a failure, I guess. So, after our talk in the cafe, Angela's commissioned me once more for a formal dress. This time, less naked. She invited me to the event as well. When I questioned her about it, she vaguely mentioned something about going to see the opera with some old farts and have dinner with them. Didn't give me much to go on aside from the fact it should be formal evening wear, so she's not planning to party this time. Since I don't have many opportunities to design and wear a gown myself, I accepted her invitation, even though I've never really been to the opera. I'd love to go someday, though. Meeting both Neil and Angela has certainly given me plenty of opportunities to attend formal events where I can show my talents. So, Angela, when are you gonna buy us a nice Wagyu steak? As I'm sketching out some ideas after closing time, I am alerted by a knock on the door. Wondering who would disturb me at this time, I walk over to the entrance and look out the window. Is it Sarah? My heart skips a beat when I see that it's Neil. We need to tell Sarah about this sometime. I unlock the door and let him in. Good evening. It's late. What are you doing here? Neil steps inside. He seems anxious about something. It seems you don't check your cell phone all that often, do you? Neil, we were at work. My eyes dart towards the counter where my phone is. I'm suddenly having flashbacks of... Haven't checked in a while. Why? Never mind that. I wanted to discuss something with you. Oh, are we finally getting Angela an intervention for a drinking problem? I fidget. I don't think I'm ready to discuss anything, really. My emotions are a mess. There's no way I'm going to be able to put them into words. Like? It's a bit awkward standing so close to him now, with what feels like a crime scene of evidence behind me of what we did several nights ago. You at least cleaned the counter, right? There's really no elegant way of putting this, but Angela's delusional ideas made me realize it needs to be said. Again, he pauses, and I can feel my heartbeat speed up in anticipation. He clears his throat, looking clearly uncomfortable. I think we should stop being in contact with one another. Oh, yeah! We did it, team! We got the good ending! My mind goes blank. It's for the best. This way Angela won't be pulling you into her weird shenanigans, and I'll have some peace and quiet as well. My mouth drops open, completely and utterly shocked. Did he seriously just say he wants to stop seeing me? Am I being unofficially broken up with? What? There's no need to involve yourself anymore. In fact, you can pretend we never met each other at all. I'd be glad to. Is that what you want? Does he really want to stop seeing me like this? His words hurt more than I would have thought. Perhaps I was in too much of a blissful state to realize I was in too deep already. Oh well, maybe it's for the best. There's literally nothing we can do. Neil's eye twitches and I can see him losing his composure. Isn't it what you want as well, to not have to engage with me ever again? I thought you guys went over this. We went over it. What does Neil think the makeout means? Neil thought that the makeout where we didn't know who he was, and I thought there was something there. But the consensual one that we had at the boutique counter was... I look at him while lowering my eyebrows. I don't know what to think or how to feel. He's right, I didn't want to have anything to do with him a few months ago. I wanted to be done with making him a blazer so I could get on with my life and pretend I never met this immature brat. But this immature brat threw me into turmoil at the night of the ball. We kissed. Not once, but twice, and the second time was definitely no accident. I've been avoiding thinking about it deeply since then, because confronting my feelings, confronting Neil, seemed like such an insurmountable task. A task that scared me, as it meant facing the unknown. I don't know what I have with Neil. I don't know why I kissed him or why he kissed me. These questions are burning inside of me. Am I never going to get an answer? Alright, I guess we have literally no choice. Who does he think he is? He wants to drop me like a hot potato? Fine, he can be that way. Fine, if that's what you want, then you can leave me alone. You are banned from the cafe. I mean the boutique. I don't own the cafe, but I hope that you're banned from there too. Neil's taken aback and gives me a conflicted look. Like he doesn't know what to do with me, how to respond to my blunt answer. It's like I hit him with a wrecking ball. If you're going to pretend this is the best course of action, then be my guest, Neil. Go ahead and walk out that door and shut it on your way out. I can't control the anger inside of me. My mouth keeps opening and hurtful words are falling out. It's for the best. I'm just cleaning up Angela's mess. There's no reason we need to stay in contact. Insufferable! Yeah, he is. Leave. Goodbye. And he turns around and leaves the store. And he never did buy anything. I once more collapse against my counter, but this time it's for an entirely different reason than last time. I'm angry and I'm hurt. I didn't realize Neil's words would sting so much. Then again, I don't know why I would ever delude myself into thinking Neil cared about me, even if it was just a little. Wow, she was just plain not listening to any of his words, was she? He's always looked down at me anyway. It doesn't matter if I was some kind of hero to him when he was a little kid. After all, he's not a little kid anymore. He's a grown man making his own poor decisions in life. And he's decided he doesn't want to see me anymore. I check my phone real quick and notice I have 2 messages and 1 missed call from His Majesty. Both messages are him asking if we could meet up tonight. My finger hovers over the delete contact button. I don't know what to do. The next couple of weeks I drown myself in work. Christmas passes by in the blink of an eye, and even New Year's is something I barely remember celebrating with Sarah. Oh good, so Sarah does still exist. I do overtime, I stitch and sew whenever I get the chance. I pay myself for that overtime because I am my own boss. I'm making phone calls here and there to order fabric. I do everything in my power to keep my mind from straying too far away from work. Because nothing good will come about thinking from Neil. I got those words mixed up. Because nothing good will come from thinking about Neil. Angela seems oblivious, which is good, so she won't bug me about it. At least this whole ordeal left me behind a good friend. I've been working on both of our dresses, fit for the opera. Is Neil coming too? Angela's dress is finished, and I needed her to come over and do the final fitting for any alterations. I managed to get Angela inside of her black dress. Oh, that looks nice! This looks fabulous, my dear, Angela coos at me once she sees herself in the mirror. She makes a few flashy poses. Yeah. I make a few notes to tuck it in some bit at the bottom hem, but the dress seems to suit her just fine. I breathe a sigh of relief. My work paid off. Angela undresses and hands it over to me. Nice. I carry it over to my sewing machine and start taking in the hem. Have you ever been to the opera before? It's nothing fancy, really. People who believe themselves to be important tended to inflate their egos. Don't let it get to you. Angela, you know that's really insulting to the performers, right? Angela? I give a small chuckle while I push the fabric along the needle. Then why did you get an invitation? Ah, well... I get invitations to loads of events. I have to network where I can, you know? And for you, it's great as well. People might want to know who made this fabulous dress. Lord knows I've been praising your name from the rooftops since last time. And thank you for that. Although I get to hook another client such as you, wow, we are terrible at networking. Well, I guess we need to change that, no? I'm sure something great will happen. So, who is it that invited you, and are they okay with me tagging along? Maybe I can snag them as potential clients? You know, just some old couple. Lovely people when they're in a good mood. Not so lovely when they're in a bad mood. But it's absolutely no problem that you're coming along. I told them all about you, and they're excited to meet such a wonderful and talented young woman such as yourself. I wonder just how much Angela told them about me. It's not like I'm anything special. I guess we'll see. I give the dress back to Angela once I'm finished, and she tries it on once more. The cut of the hem is looking a lot better, and Angela seems pretty stoked at the final result. She takes it off and places it neatly on the counter. Dazzling, simply dazzling. All it needs is a nice diamond necklace to finish it off. I bite my lips to prevent myself from making a snappy comment about me not being able to afford something like that unless I worked for 10 years straight. Destroy the diamond industry. Sometimes Angela really does seem to live in a whole other world. I wonder how much money she makes doing pottery of all things. Right, I heard about your job. You make pottery? I make all kinds of art, love. I love to sculpt and let my imagination go wild. It's a passion of mine to travel the world and see the many pieces of art that people create. Italy had only been my latest escapade. It makes me happy to see you're doing something you love then. Imagine having the resources to do what you love. It reminds me of myself. I moved here to start my own boutique and to create clothes that people are happy to wear. I love making clothes as well. We've been doing it, once my grandma passed away, you see. She used to sew me all of these girly dresses, but I just didn't want to wear them back then. I wanted to play in the mud and get dirty. I didn't want to be girly, so I never wore those dresses. Angela looks at me with a comforting smile on her face, letting me say my piece. It's hard to imagine you as a tomboy, she chuckles. I really was. But after my grandma passed away, I was left with these boxes full of the dresses she made for me. It made me so sad. I cried for a whole week straight on the attic with that box. My mother gifted me the sewing machine my grandma used, and I guess I fell in love with it ever since. That's a lovely memento of your grandmother, Freya. I'm sorry you had to say goodbye to her so soon. I smile at her, happy to be reliving my memories of my grandma again. Angela, let us romance you instead. That's okay. She gave me a passion in life. That's great. Life is all about going after your dreams and finding your passion. Angela suddenly looks timid. That's why I'm so concerned about Neil. Don't. Why does she keep doing this? Oh, but it would be rude to tell her not to talk about him. She looks at me with hopeful eyes. He's stressed at work, it's chaining him down. I know he wants to do something with his life, but he doesn't want to defy his parents. I'm conflicted about wanting to hear more about Neil and wanting to tell Angela to stop talking. You know, he's got a bachelor's degree in interior design, yet he doesn't do anything with it. Instead, he's wasting away his potential in the family business. It's infuriating, really. Is that why you wanted me to pretend to be his, you know? Oh, that! Actually, his parents have been looking for a fiancé for a while. You know, feudalists that they are. They want to get him into an arranged marriage as they fear he won't get into a relationship on his own. Ah, yes. I wonder whose fault that could be. I wonder whose fault it is that he's so emotionally stunted. And give him the lovely little grandchildren they so desperately want. And he told them if they cut back down on his work hours, he might have time for a relationship. So I kind of proposed the idea. He's got a bachelor in interior design and he has a house like that, Neil. They really do live together. They really do live in another world to be talking about arranged marriages. I feel sorry for the person unlucky enough to be a candidate for such a marriage to His Majesty. Yeah, I'm not sure why you're surprised, Tuxie Doji. You know, you can just buy a degree online. But don't you worry, everything will be alright. I've got plans. I wonder what she's scheming now, but decide against asking her. Now, let's get this dress back into the plastic so I can carry it back home. Oh, right, about your dress. Have you started on that yet? I made a few sketches and got a general idea in my head. I haven't started the construction yet. Pick something dark blue. It'll go lovely with your eyes. Really? I suddenly remember something I needed to ask Angela. About the ticket to the opera. How much was it? I invited you over. I can't expect you to pay for your ticket as well. No, don't worry. This one's on me. In other words, we can't afford it, huh? Well, the date of the opera is in 2 weeks, so better hurry and finish my dress. Hope I don't run into Neil since I'm hanging out around with Angela. Neil's gonna be wearing dark blue, ain't he? Yup! Alright, let's make ourselves a dress. This is pretty simple, huh? Alright, so, neckline is a sweetheart. It's dark blue, but I wonder if I can do light blue. Does this count as blue? Okay, it counts as blue. And then a nice star pattern. This? Okay, I think it's this. Oh, the pattern color is wrong. Interesting. So it's not white. Okay, this is good. Sleeves are gloves. I don't normally think of gloves as sleeves, but okay. Skirt is floor length. Main color is also blue. And... oh! Stars again. Okay. Thanks, me! Receives opera dress. Okay. It really doesn't match our eyes. Hi, Mira! We're getting all dolled up for the opera. Freya, when can we hold hands and eat chicken parm together as friends? Oh, does that mean you want a cooking simulator collab? I can do that, Mira. The hat clips through our hair. Alright, and our good old bludgeoning weapon. Alright, we're ready for the opera. It's almost 6 o'clock and I'm waiting for Angela to pick me up at my home so we can attend the opera together. Oh, thank you for the sip, Mira. Big sippy. And have dinner afterwards with her guests of honor. I'm all dressed up and I'm a little bit nervous, as I've never been to an event like this, and will probably feel out of place, much like I felt out of place at the ball. But I have to stay strong. And get some actual networking done this time. It's snowing, so it's hard to make out what's going on in the distance. I can hear a car pull up and see a very fancy-looking car on the street. And inside I see Angela, who waves at me, beckoning me to come over and get in. Quickly I make my way over to the passenger side and open the door, making myself comfortable as I slip into the seat. Ooh, so we're taking the middle seat, huh? Everything on the inside is made from white leather. It's definitely an expensive car. Very warm, too. You ready to get bored? I'm excited and nervous. Angela, please stop insulting the performers. Don't be, you probably won't even be able to follow what's going on, and the dinner won't be that exciting. But enough about that, you look lovely as always. That dress is to die for. Perfectly styled as well. Angela, please have respect for the actors. I blush a little at the compliment. Angela presses the gas pedal and we're on our way to the opera house. Toilet! The lobby is filled with lots of people conversing before the start of the show. Come on, let's go to our seats. I try my best to keep up with her while wearing high heels. Wow! We enter the auditorium, which is richly decorated with vintage designs, detailed with golden flecks that we can't see at the moment. In the distance is the stage. A large red curtain covers most of it. Tons of people are walking alongside the aisles, trying to get to their seats. Angela is looking at our tickets to find the right seats, and we make our way through the ocean of chairs. We end up sitting somewhere in the back, but at least the stage is in the middle. I look at the empty seats next to us. So, where are your guests of honor? Fashionably late. The auditorium gets filled with more and more people, and it's almost time for the show to start. That's when I hear someone call out Angela's name from behind us. It better not be Neil, Angela. You know the consequences if it turns out to be Neil. Angela gets up from her seat and greets two people with an air kiss. You made it. Oh my god, you were right. It really is Neil's parents. They're an older man and woman, both dressed impeccably well. They give off this rich impression. The man is very intimidating looking, suiting a position of power. Angela, I have so many questions. The woman is frail and thin, but her white skin makes her look even more vintage, like she stepped out of a painting. Freya, you can't just call people vintage. This is the girl I've been telling you about. This is Freya. Oh god, she had better not be introducing us as Neil's fiancé. The man sticks out his hand and I quickly accept the firm handshake. Marcus, and this is my wife, Evelyn. These are Neil's parents. I shoot a dirty look at Angela, who gives me an innocent smile. Nice to meet you. Angela didn't say anything about meeting Neil's parents. Please don't let this be part of some kind of... I'm surprised you're wearing something even remotely resembling modest this time. I look up from my seat. Friendship ended with Angela. Wearing a dashing tuxedo that makes him look sophisticated, but it's most definitely Neil. Angela? Is something the matter here? Yes! Angela, I thought we were friends. How many times does she need to betray us? Neil looks at his father, then back to me, then finally gives Angela a deadly look. No, everything is peachy fine. You must... Oh, I am in actual pain right now. You must be Neil's fiancé. It's so nice to meet you, dear. I've heard from Angela that you design your own clothes. For a few seconds, I'd look like a fish out of water with my mouth opening and closing at random. I'm pretty sure Angela set me up under the pretense of pretense of inviting me to the opera, when in reality she was letting me meet Neil's parents to go through with her ridiculous scheme. And right after Neil had said he didn't want to see me anymore. I could kill Angela right now. I could do it. You know, some things are worth risking your life for. I'm going to scorn her so much after this. Yeah, nope. Actually, I am not. Now, don't make her shy, Evelyn. Their engagement is still very new, so she's not used to saying Neil is her fiancé yet. Angela, for a male fiancé, it's spelled with one E. Please, Freya, you're a grown woman. You can just leave if you want. I guess rich people just don't have any morals. It's time for murder. Angela turns her head to me and gives me this pointed look, as if to say, please go along with it. No, we don't owe her anything. She is really infuriating, this entire family is, but considering the situation I am in here, Yes, you absolutely have a choice. You were about to make that choice mere moments ago. Why, yes, I do. This dress was designed by me as well. Yes, quite indubitably. It looks absolutely stunning on you. Don't you think so too, Neil? Neil, annoyed he's being asked for his opinion, simply continues to stare straight ahead of him and mumbles something in agreement. No, you don't, though? How do you get home? Taxis. Taxis with Angela's money. Don't you give me that kind of attitude, young man. Compliment your date. It is only polite to do so. It's nice to know that at least his parents were trying to teach Neil some manners, because I can recall them many, many times. It seems he left them at the door. Neil finally acknowledges me. You look nice. I know he's being forced to say this, but those words sting. Neil already made it clear he doesn't want to see me, so hearing fake compliments thrown my way only makes it worse. I want to escape, but I don't want to appear rude to Neil's parents who don't really know what's going on here. It's not their fault Angela's a conniving little... Yeah, but it's their fault Neil turned out like this. Haven't you been listening, Freya? You don't owe them anything either. I'm almost starting to sound like Neil there. Oh, the show's almost starting. Evelyn claps her hands to get our attention. Now let's all enjoy this evening together. Speak for yourself. There's all sorts of emotions bubbling up inside of me, but I do my best to stay quiet for as long as possible. I just need to get through this, then I can leave. The opera is going to be soured for her forever. A crowd of people rushing in to find their seats as the red curtains open up. The auditorium quiets down. You can only hear the shuffling of fabric and footsteps. A lady wearing a very big dress walks onto the stage and stands in front of the orchestra. Then the violins start playing. It sends chills down my back. It sounds so sad. After a short intro of strings, the rest of the orchestra starts playing and the woman starts to sing. I'll be honest, I'm only half paying attention to the show. Please respect the performers. Everyone in this game makes me cry. I keep thinking about Neil being here with his parents and how Angela tricked me into coming along. At least say which opera it is. It's simply not something I expected of Angela. I'm sorely disappointed in her for cooking up something like this. I want to leave as soon as possible. Why do you need to get through this? It's as easy as just leaving, right? We don't have the money, it's in my bank account. I can't believe Mira stole all the protagonist's money. All the thousands of dollars. The opera slowly moves along, all the while I'm sitting on edge. And it's not because of the beautiful performance, at least the protagonist acknowledges that it's beautiful. Finally, the woman stops singing, and the opera and the orchestra stops as well. Look, Mira is actually broke right now? Ah, I understand. Alright, so I just gotta go to your stream's donation page. Where is it? Let's see. MCI. MCI1. Yeah, donation page. Mira, you need to add the donation page to your About section so I can access it more easily. Mira, add the dono page to your About section. Add the Streamlabs donation page. Please. I removed it so you'd stop accessing it. I see. So I gotta look for your PayPal directly after this. There's an announcement that they'll be back after a 20-minute break. The crowd starts to leave their seats to grab something to drink or use the bathroom. I'm going to get something to drink, so I'll be right back. Angela, someone please go with her to make sure that she doesn't, you know. I'm glaring at her back. She's running away from having to face my wrath. And that's also when I realize I'm left alone with Neil and his parents. Now's your chance, Freya. Now's your chance. Quick, sneak out. Sneak out, say you're going to the bathroom, and then never return. Right, why don't we go with her? Hi, Gubbins! It's time for more regrets. Are you enjoying the show? I still have to be polite. No, you don't. You don't owe them anything. Yes, I am. It's lovely. We can never get Neil to enjoy them, so I'm glad somebody his age does. Is your opening music supposed to be playing? Yeah, because, sometimes this game is awkward with the long stretches of silence, so I decided to have my BGM playing instead. But the voices should still be playing, I think. You guys have heard voices over these past parts, right? Right? No? I'm gonna die. I'm die. Thank you forever. It means we're out of that awkward situation, and it means we can give her a quick chicken wing arm lock, followed by a neat ankle sweep. Neil quietly gets up from his seat. I'm getting something to drink as well. Before Neil can leave, Evelyn pulls on her son's hand and looks over to me. Aren't you going to offer your date something to drink as well? Be a gentleman. Neil looks at me. Would you like to have something to drink, Freya? The blood of my enemies, please. I'm left alone with his parents, and it's making me feel quite awkward. So, Freya, where did you meet Neil? Oh no! At a cafe. I accidentally spilled some coffee on him. The old classic. I'm happy to see that it didn't sour your relationship from the start. Oh, it definitely did! Evelyn, did you really teach your son manners? I'm confused. Are Neil's parents supposed to be, like, a good force this time? Are they supposed to be polite older people? Kinda want to strangle him, though, if that counts. Yeah, it definitely does. Excuse me, I'm going to find the bathroom. Maybe I can find Angela and berate her for dragging me into this. I get up from my seat and leave the auditorium. Politeness hiding the rot. That makes sense. There's a bunch of people standing in line to get drinks or food, but I don't spot Angela or Neil anywhere. When I'm looking around for any bathroom signs, I suddenly feel my hand yanked on. Stranger danger! Help! Pulled aside against the wall. Help! What are you doing here? It was Angela's idea. What are you doing here? Jerk! The tuxedo doesn't look good on him. I came here with my parents. No one mentioned I was going to be on some kind of date with my fake fiancé. Well, I didn't know either, so stop making it sound like you're accusing me of something. Angela set me up. Neil backs away, then pauses to think. I knew she was going to pull you into her shenanigans. I told you to stay away. Hey, just because you don't want to see me anymore doesn't mean I have to stop talking to Angela. She's my friend. Or was, I don't know. What she pulled right now definitely isn't acceptable, but you don't get a say in who I see or don't see. I understand I have no control over who you speak to, but perhaps I wasn't clear enough that day. Neil takes a step closer to me. Cabedon? This is the worst kind of kabedon? If you want to live your life drama-free, then stay away from me and my lunatic of a cousin. It will only cause us trouble if you keep sticking around. I get angry in return, having Neil say the same thing to me again. It hurt the first time, now it's simply infuriating. Neil, you are an enigma to me. One day you want me around, the other you're chasing me away. You don't even know what you want. What right do you have in deciding for me? I'm an adult. I can make my own decisions just fine. I can reap the consequences. I can make incredibly poor romantic decisions, such as you. Well, gee, I didn't realize you liked being around me that much. Perhaps I should sign a photograph of myself and hand it over to keep you satisfied. Maybe frame it and hang it in your boutique. Why are they like this? Then what are you saying? What am I saying? I don't know myself. This whole Neil thing was already complicated enough before we ever touched each other's lips. Let alone now when I'm roped into playing his fake fiancé while Neil told me to stay away. I stare at Neil long and hard. I don't need to know his status, Freya. I don't know what to say or formulate my thoughts. He stares right back into my eyes, and the murmur of the crowd falls to the background. Right now we only have eyes for each other. The opera is starting again, folks. Something deep inside me starts to stir, and I look away from him to curb the feeling. I don't know, but I do know that I don't like it when you go ahead and decide things for me. That's not the mark of a very good partner. I hang my head down and fiddle with the fabric of my gown. Typical. I should have turned around the moment I saw you sitting down in that seat. But you didn't. You're free to leave. I'll leave after the show ends. I'm sure I can come up with a good excuse to skip dinner. She invited you over for dinner as well? I didn't know it was going to be your parents, okay? But I'm not going to stick around and play house with you. Not when you so eloquently told me to stay away from you. Why are you falling for him? I know, right? And Mira, you weren't even around for the first parts of this. Finally sick of discussing this with Neil, I turn around ready to walk away and find the bathroom. But I'm stopped once more as Neil grabbed my hand again. Why? Wait. He can't keep doing this. Now what? My parents, they can't find out. They can't find out. Find out that I'm not really your fiancé? At least you have some amount of brains in that head of yours. Neil, please decide already how you want to treat us. Continue insulting my intelligence and I'm walking out of here right now. My apologies. I'm a little on edge and taking it on you when I should be taking it out on Angela. I'm a bit speechless with how fast Neil apologized for his mean comment. I didn't expect it, not in a million years. Is he learning? Neil takes a deep breath. I know I told you to stay away from me. I promise. After this, you won't hear from me again. However, I'm asking if you can hold out until after the dinner before leaving. I can still salvage things afterwards. Aren't you out of favors here? I already made you that blazer for your watch. And as I recall, you were the one who wanted to stop seeing me. You can't say that and turn back on your words right now. Have you no regards for anyone's feelings besides your own? You think I like being tugged back and forth? I feel all this pent-up anger and hurt towards him right now. You selfish prick. Neil looks shocked and at the same time there's guilt written on his face. He drops my hand and his eyes are cast towards the ground. He looks completely drained. My actions are confusing to me as well. I merely wish to have Angela not pull you into any of her eccentric plans. I know firsthand how much trouble she can cause. But it still happened the way I knew it would happen. If only you were maybe clearer about your intentions. Have you thought about that, Neely boy? I didn't want to rope you into this. I didn't want you to meet my parents. I didn't wish for any of this to happen. And you came up with the bright idea to simply cut me off from your life? How's that working out for you? Buddy, you ain't Mr. Darcy here. I will not back down until Neil realizes I have feelings and he should stop toying with them. Obviously, it backfired. I'm not going to do anything until you apologize to me. You really, PO'd me. Do we really need to do that here? Hey, you're the one that pushed me against the wall. And against my counter, for that matter. He takes a step away from me in response. Was it really such a terrible idea? Yes, it was. Who's saying this? This way I'm still left with some shred of sanity. Being with you manages to turn my life upside down. A tingling sensation enters my heart hearing him say that. No, I should be strong. I can't be wooed by Neil here. It was a terrible idea, and I'm still waiting for an apology. Neil bites down on his lip, his golden eyes glaring at me, but with no ill intentions. He seems conflicted mostly. I'm sorry. I can't help but find Neil adorable amidst the chaos. He's being submissive. He's being breedable. I'm sorry. I didn't think I would have ever seen the day where Neil would meekly go along with what I asked of him. Since when did he grow a conscience? Now could you please be my fiancé? Other people passing by overhear Neil's words and suddenly start going, "Oh, he's proposing!" He's proposing in a cabedon. In the middle of an intermission for an opera. It really did sound like a proposal. Well, don't leave the people hanging. What's your answer? No. Get effed. I don't know, maybe you should grovel some more. I'm not groveling. I'd rather be subjected to Angela's schemes 1,000 times before I will beg you for anything than perish. You're not in a position here to be saying that, though. I can still easily walk out. No! Neil awkwardly reaches for my wrist to stop me, misses completely, and trips over his own 2 feet. Now that's the Neil I like. He steadies himself against the wall next to me and breathes in a shaky breath. His eyes are a bit wide in surprise, like he can't believe that just happened. He's turned into a bumbling and stumbling fool. I smirk at him, knowing that I've gotten under his skin. Seems Neil isn't immune to clumsiness. Please, Mrs. Fukunaga. I'll do anything. This is more like it. I can feel my own anger ebbing away with each second. Fine, I'll do it. I'll pretend to be your fiancé for now. Neil looks shocked. Really? He quickly composes himself. I mean, of course. Now will you let me go so I can go to the bathroom? Neil backs away. I'll get some drinks for us then. I'll see you in the auditorium. We finally part ways. Now, time to leave. Oh boy. I think that I'm probably going to leave off here for now, but this has been a lot of fun. Oh, this is gonna be a disaster. Let's see. Who can we rate? Oh, Mocha is doing art. You guys like art streams, right? I know I like art streams. Only about 7 chapters left? Oh, so then that makes, about 2 more weeks of this, I guess. Are you guys looking forward to it? Oh boy. I wonder how we're gonna have 7 more chapters of this. Like, what will they pull out next? Will you do other routes? No, I'm gonna leave it for you guys. Because, you know, when I stream a game, I want more people to become interested in it. So that's why, unless it's, like, really short or free or something, I generally won't show all of it. So, this is a free game. It is a free game. I think that it's still being developed. There's a Patreon for it as well. And as always, there will be a link to the itch.io page when I post the VOD. So, you know, check it out. Alright. Ready to raid? Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ethniel! I'm so sorry, writers. Know that I am enjoying this in my own way. I swear that I am enjoying this, and I want a lot of people to play it, and I really do enjoy the clothing minigame most of all. Like, look, this is a really nice dress! But I should stop rambling. For everybody who's stuck around or who's watching along with the VOD, thank you so much for watching. This has been your host, Fukunaga, signing off. Bye-bye!